You were told love is enough, that if you're loyal, kind, emotionally present, everything will work out. But here, at the truth no one says out loud, love dies in the absence of structure. She didn't leave because she stopped loving you. She left because she stopped respecting you. And that respect fades when a man becomes stagnant, loses direction, and relies on her emotionally. You weren't abandoned for lack of affection. You were abandoned because you stopped evolving. Romanticism without progress turns into weakness, and weakness is exactly what the system wants from you. Modern society has conditioned men to be obedient, emotionally dependent, and financially illiterate. Why? Because broken men don't rebel. They don't create. They don't build. They consume. They work. They obey. They repeat. Your quiet mediocrity is profitable to someone. Since you were a boy, you were trained to be a good student, a good employee, a good boyfriend, but never a free man. No one taught you that money isn't just numbers. It's power. It's structure. It's a mirror of your internal order. A man living in scarcity is a man disconnected from his purpose. He's busy putting out fires, begging for validation, blaming everything but himself for his situation. The economy, the government, his ex, his parents. But the real battlefield is inside. Your mind was programmed to survive, not to thrive. And until you rewrite that program, you'll keep losing. Schopenhauer said reality only becomes bearable when we strip away illusions. The truth is harsh. Women are wired to seek stability. If you collapse, she feels it. If you stop growing, she senses it. In her biology, instability equals danger. So she distances herself, not because she's cruel, but because the nest feels threatened. It's not about being rich. It's about being in control. In today's world, the new provider is not the one who hunts, but the one who builds. The one who creates income, owns his time, and doesn't need a boss, a paycheck, or a woman's approval to feel like a man. That presence, that internal dominance, is magnetic. It's not about the car, the job, or the clothes. It's about whether you radiate purpose or desperation. She notices when your light dims. She feels when you've lost your mission. And when that happens, it's not love anymore. It's rejection. Because feminine energy cannot trust a collapsed man. And most men today are financially and spiritually collapsed. You've been taught to hate the word money, to think it's evil, selfish, materialistic. But money is a symbol. It reflects your ability to turn time into freedom, ideas into value, and chaos into structure. Poverty weakens you. It fragments your focus. It steals your peace. That's why so many men become passive, anxious, or controlling, because they've lost control of their internal world. Money exposes who you are. If you reject it, you're rejecting your own power. If you worship it, you're compensating for your inner lack. If you fear it, you're admitting you're not ready to lead your own life. Financial education isn't about stocks, though it's about sovereignty. It's about maturing out of psychological childhood, where everything is someone else's fault, and stepping into adulthood, where you own what you build, what you lose, and what you allow. The woman who leaves you usually doesn't leave for someone better. She leaves for someone more alive. A man with mission, clarity, and momentum. A man who is growing, who knows what he wants, where he's going, and what it takes to get there. Feminine energy constantly tests masculine energy, not out of cruelty, but to call it into evolution. If you react with anger, blame, or neediness, you've already failed the test. The shift happens when you stop improving for her and start improving for yourself. Because deep down, she doesn't want a man begging for attention. She wants a man too focused on becoming to chase validation. A man who loves but doesn't collapse, who supports but doesn't depend, who desires but isn't needy. And it all begins when you rebuild your relationship with money and with your own self-worth. Schopenhauer warned, reality does not forgive delusion. A man deluded about love, women, and money is doomed to repeat pain, to attract abandonment, to live in resentment. The way out is brutal, but freeing. Become a man no one dares to walk away from. A man who, even stripped of everything, still carries unshakable value. A man with map, compass, and engine, who understands that love is beautiful, but admiration sustains it. Who knows that money is spiritual, because it reflects inner order, mental clarity, and invisible discipline. True freedom isn't showed about doing whatever you want. It asks about never having to beg for anything again. Do you want to be loved or respected? Do you want affection or personal power? The answer isn't either or, but it always starts with self-mastery. Because if you can't lead your own mind through chaos, how can you lead a woman through life? Rebuild your inner empire, your habits, your money, your focus, your mission. This isn't coaching. This is survival-level philosophy, and nature still works. The feminine still seeks shelter, not emotional, but structural. And shelter only comes from a man who is whole. If you are tired of being left behind, become the kind of man no one ever leaves. Share this with someone who needs to wake up. Love is not enough. And yes, money is spiritual too.